Start streaming. Starting. Your audience will see you in a moment. Get ready. Oh, it's working. Okay, so I think I've started this a little early. I'll probably wait for a few more people to come in case people want to watch this one live. So today I will be talking a little bit about Evernote Q&A, sort of like an outline of some of the things that have been happening with Evernote recently. As you can imagine, lots been happening in the news, so it's going to be a great way to sort of overview everything. So new to this whole webinar thing. I wouldn't really call it a webinar, if I'm honest, but it's a way for me to share some great news with you. So we'll probably start going, I think. I've got all my notes in front of me. We'll just let a few people sort of come in. So yeah, in the meanwhile, how is everyone been? Hello, Zoe from London. Good to see someone from the UK here. In the chat, if you want at any given point, guys, you can leave comments, and essentially I'll get around to them. I've handpicked a ton of questions from you guys already, so you know there's going to be a few notable ones there. Hello, Damien. How are you, man? Anthony, good to see you. Nicole, hello from Dubai. And Newton, Brazil. Love seeing your comments, Newton, all the time. So we're really good to go. This is so weird, isn't it, life? Right, so Evernote at the moment has been going through a couple of challenges. Oh, P.S. The chair I'm on is quite squeaky. It's awful for podcasting, but I'm not sure it's going to be the worst here. Hopefully it's not. Let's talk about the state of Evernote currently at the moment. There have been some challenges that they've been tackling themselves. It first sort of really erupted with the rebrand a couple of weeks ago. We saw a brand new logo, a brand new sort of vision in terms of their mission statement and things like that. And obviously a lot of people weren't as happy as they could be because they were hoping Evernote would release something madly exciting, like out of the water, and it all just comes in. And then it sort of spiraled. There was a TechCrunch article. We've talked about it a lot. If you guys want to watch the videos on it, they're in the cards. Staff losses. A couple of staff losses. I believe it was 56 or 54 jobs lost at Evernote. And there was talk of fundraising. They've also had concerns about their Evernote business plan or enterprise plan not working. So there's naturally a couple challenges that a startup is facing here. Again, you got to think about it like Twitter has had a lot of challenges in the last couple of months. I only thought of this when I was chatting with Steve Dotto, which the video has just been released on that. I was quite excited to release that because I've been following him for like 5-6 years. It's in the comments below, so you guys can click on it. But basically, he was talking about the privacy situation with Twitter. But I was thinking, yeah, Twitter's had a lot of challenges in the last couple of months anyway. So again, naturally, as it comes on. Yeah, so obviously this is all happening, and I wanted to get some of your questions in. So I got a few of them through social media and through some of the messages you guys have sent me so far. I thought I'd go through a couple of them, sort of address a couple of them, and then talk about the alternative side of stuff, because obviously that's something that people might want to consider. A few disclaimers before we begin. I am an Evernote community leader still. So for those who don't know, I basically get useful tools, and I sort of partially know about things that Evernote released before they come out, but I never disclaim it. And I am currently and have been an Evernote user since 2012. So a solid 6 years. And I think I used it beforehand as well. So as you can imagine, I would love for everyone to know that before we get started. I haven't left Evernote. Actually done a video on it over on my other vlog channel, which will be available. And finally, I am actively looking to get Chris O'Neill in, who is their current CEO, for an interview on this channel. I don't know, he is probably mad busy, so I don't want to interrupt him too much. And as you can imagine, he's probably got a lot of current priorities at the moment, but in terms of a community side stuff, I am trying to get the old Chris O'Neill in for a feature. So just before we dive into some questions, I'm just going to check the chat. Amsterdam, Andre, great to see you. Neil, and Zoe again, hello. And Jason, really good to have you in the chat. Neil, you're an ECC, awesome to have you. Nicola, thanks man, you didn't have to do a super chat, that's very kind of you. Thank you, man. So yeah, let's dive into some questions. In terms of questions wise, from you guys, I had one submitted from, I can't remember who it was a long email, a couple of questions in there. Community, in terms of the company, what should end users expect? Are there real issues? Now next week I will be sitting down and chatting with Tiago Forte. Tiago Forte is a brilliant mind in the productivity expert space, I'd say. He is very good at the structural side of stuff. He does he focuses a lot on the second brain side of stuff. Apparently he sat down with Chris O'Neill and he's talked through it. And as you can imagine, I think it's something that they struggle with when they're starting to release stuff. So if I'm honest, I don't think there's any immediate issues with the company. I think they're just naturally having some issues with their progression of their product, and they're probably releasing it slowly. Next one is the rebranding. Why did they do and focus on the rebrand just now? That's a great question. I think that a lot of people have found the rebrand sort of a bit jarring because obviously rebrands come and then nothing's happened. Well, yesterday, not yesterday, not yesterday, a week ago now, Evernote released templates. Templates is a brand new function that allows users to use a gallery to essentially have templates. I've done a video on it, it's in the cards. And the templates function will get you there. But I think that's one of the features they've released. And I think they're going to slowly release features. So the rebrand, I would say, it's important more for the message that they're doing. Templates is a perfect example of their message. Their revised mission statement is smart ways of working, and the templates reflect that. So that's important to note that. It's a good way of being able to apply it. Of course, it's pre-created by Evernote, but as you can imagine, it's a good starting point. Now, the next question is, and probably the question that a lot of you guys will be very, very interested in, is what features will Evernote roll out in the next few months? Now, Richard Webb, who actually won the other day the competition over on the vlog channel I just launched. He posed a question to Chris O'Neill on Twitter. I believe it was like something of the lines of, I'm a long-term Evernote user, really love the service, I'm staying loyal, what features are coming out soon? And it was that blunt, but Chris actually replied, and he put, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, so I can't believe I missed this, but Richard let me know, and he says, in Chris O'Neill's actual reply, I'll tag the tweet somewhere, I'll find out where to add it. Thanks, Richard, for your loyalty and kind words. Loads in the works. Apparently, new web client, new search, new web clipper, more integrations. To add to that recent Slack, Salesforce, and Microsoft Teams, more templates, improved collaboration, sharing, enhanced task/WF management, and more. So that gives us a little bit of a clue on what Evernote's working. So let's just roll that back again. New web client. A new web client would look much better. I believe I already have that beta. The web client looks great in its current version. New search. I think search can be refined and made look much prettier. New web clipper. I'm not sure how they would include the web clipper. I probably think it would be make it a little bit more fluffier on Chrome. At the moment, it seems like it's a little legacy in terms of its availability. More integrations. I think that's going to be better for the team users out there. As you can imagine, there's a ton of you guys. More templates. As I said, I think they'll release a community edition of it. More collaboration. But the one thing that interests me in how they're going to increase their enhanced task management. How are they going to do that? Now, I think they're going to have, and I've talked about this for like a long time now, some sort of taskbar that essentially allows users to add their tasks into Evernote. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I think it's going to work a little bit like shortcuts do currently in Evernote. But yeah, I think it's going to be quite exciting. So that was an actual tweet from Chris O'Neill, and something that you should be aware of. Pricing plans. How will pricing plans change in the next few months? One of the questions from you guys. First question from that extension was, my premium membership is about to get over by this end of the month. It's about to finish. Should I renew? Now, this is totally up to you. Again, I did a video on this. It's in the cards. What I would say is it's probably best for you to analyze whether you are using it enough. One good test of this is what I'm currently doing. Is my premium runs out this weekend. I will be doing a full month without it and working out during that full month if my Evernote account warrants a premium upgrade. If it does and it's dramatic, I will definitely upgrade because I do use Evernote a lot. But at the moment, I would say in the last year, my Evernote usage has dramatically come down. So, as you can imagine, that's one of the things that you need to consider. I've done a video on this one. It should help you to work out whether it's, whether it's suitable for you. Another thing on pricing plans is I believe they are testing a pricing plan called Plus. They had obviously this before. They are testing it now with a couple of people, a middle ground plan. And if I'm honest, if I'm in that situation where in a month I'm like, I do need premium, I would probably go to Plus, because if it's an issue with the amount I need to store in it, then that's going to be something that I'll probably go with. So, of course, and naturally, that is going to be something I'll probably head towards. Okay, so a redesign. Ignore that note. Acquisition. A lot of people have been discussing on Reddit mainly is about an acquisition. I actually chimed in. I have said, out of the blue, potential people to do it. Atlassian, Dropbox, Google, Microsoft could be all good candidates. But I don't think it's something that people should be focusing on at the moment. I don't think they're in that bad of a state. They have a lot of people who are in there. So it's not really something you should worry about. That's something I'd say. But it's always a potentiality. You have and may have seen the last couple of months, a lot of people have seen that companies have been acquired. We have seen Astro be acquired in the email space. Google Inbox shut down. Newton shut down. So it's important to understand that these companies don't necessarily last a long time without their sustainability on. But again, something I wouldn't be worried about. One final question that Kenneth Solomon put to me is it worth to purchase a plan, or is free enough? And what is better, Evernote or Notion? Great question. I probably will be doing a revised Evernote Notion feature. My main reason of doing this is because Evernote and Notion are very similar to some extent. Notion's similar to a lot of apps, so it's really dependent on your use. But the thing I would say is Evernote is probably suitable for your free plan. Again, it totally depends on what do you need it for. Are you on that borderline? Are you uploading 500 megabytes a month? That would warrant it. In terms of your Evernote and Notion situation, which one to choose? If you are someone that likes a structured note-taking experience that has the full package in terms of forwarding emails and being able to support all the relevant text formatting, I would stick with Evernote. If you are looking for a project planning, more holistical block experience with interactive elements that surpass Evernote's tables, functions, Notion's your guy. So that's how I sort of differentiate the two at the moment. So, Evernote's resource. The thing I would say is, for those people watching and are directly worried about Evernote's future, don't worry right now. This is what I'm sort of in the back of my head. It's a great package as a total. I put this in my podcast the other day when I was recording it for the Tools I Use podcast, and I was literally saying Evernote is fantastic as a full package. I was mentioning that I saw a bunch of students downloading it and setting up their accounts in a coffee shop, and I was like, it's perfect, like, for when you're literally setting up a note-taking experience. For those people who are completely new to note-taking, it's a great package. That and OneNote is such a good ecosystem. For someone that wants a specific need, this is where I'll talk about alternatives. If you, for example, are a writer and you are looking for a good writing experience but collaborates note-taking, then you might want to look at Bear or Ulysses, although Ulysses is a much more advanced writing application. If you are a developer that is looking at a more easier way to dump code and things like that, again, Bear could be a good one. Or, for example, Boost Notes. Boost Note, I think it's called. Boost Note, not Boost Notes. Or Simple Note, even. Really good solutions. So it's really dependent on your needs. There are specialities. I've got a Evernote Alternatives feature coming very soon. Prince in the comments just put voice echoing. I really hope it's not bad. Let me make sure that it's... I hope it's not worried anyone. Anyway, let me just grab a few comments that have been posted. Pal, hi, you're from Hungary, awesome. Cameo, hey, you said I sound like a robot, apparently, which probably is true. Prince, hi from India, and you said best Android competitor of Evernote. Nicola, are people able to make third-party Evernote templates? Bit confused, otherwise I think it's not useful. You can make alternatives, but not yet through that gallery function. People have been doing Evernote templates for a fair while, so it's something that's been already in space. It really depends on where you found them. Someone to look at, Nicola, is Enrico Nalla, who is an excellent communicator about Evernote. He creates something called an Evernote dashboard, which he's done a video on, so just search Enrico Nalla. You can type in the search, right? Oh no, someone else said they can hear an echo too. Maybe it's because the door's open. Search Enrico Nalla on... it's probably because I'm shouting. Search Enrico Nalla on YouTube, Nicola, and you'll be able to find his video. Another question. You can save your own notes as templates. Yeah, again, that's something that you'll need to sort of set up as yourself. At the moment, I think they're going to add a community templates area, a bit like Trello has done with the boards, inspiration boards. Prince, what are the best Android competitors of Evernote? There are a few. I think OneNote's great. There's a couple of like Squid and a couple of apps like that, but again, I'm going to put a lot more of them in the alternatives feature that I've done, properly list them all out in a bit more detail. Simple Notes available on there. Bear is probably coming. They've said that for a while. Newton has put smart integrations would be nice. Totally agree. Neil put web client has progressed beyond beta and is available to all business users now. Okay, so that's interesting. Vincent, you put Zoho Notebook. Zoho Notebook was a fantastic experience. I think they recently released on Windows, which is pretty impressive, and it's something that a lot of people have been shouting about. Dirk also put, I tried Zoho Notebook, but I'm not convinced by it, and he's not convinced by OneNote either. So I think the Zoho Notebook is much more of a Google Keep expanded edition. Dirk also put, what are Evernote alternatives on Android, iOS, and Mac? Again, I probably will be doing a separate video on this one next week, but the feature will be out very soon. Oh no, people were saying that it sounds like an underwater Francesco. Is it okay if I just try it, see what it sounds like? Hello? Hello? Wait. Oh yeah. Oh no, people are saying that it sounds like an I can hear it now. Okay, I don't know how to fix that right now, but I'm going to make sure it's done for the next feature, guys. I really do apologise. Zoe, really sorry. Okay, so we need much better PDF annotation and handwritten notes. Is it very difficult to do in Evernote so that it becomes a file cabinet rather than all in one? Yeah, PDF annotation's okay. And obviously the searchable abilities inside of Evernote is good, but yeah, there are applications like Notability, I believe it is. Good Notes, again, good solutions for that, that can help you to set that up. I know Paper by 53 is another good one. Yeah, so guys, Mike and Cameo, I will be fixing this. I do apologise. There's nothing I can really do now. I'm just streaming, so I do apologise. I will be fixing it. Wear headphones, maybe, Nicola said. I probably have headphones somewhere here. Yeah, I could try it. Oh, it sounds good now. It's back to normal. I'm going to fix that for the next time, guys. Okay, so thank you. Thank you so much, Zoe and Prince. Okay, so let's carry on. You can tell I'm awful at this, right? So, Nicholas said, I think Bear is not a viable replacement for Evernote until they become more focused on file storage and sort of acting like a file notebook. At the moment, everything you attach to Bear is stored in iCloud. Okay, I agree with that. I think Bear's a much more minimal experience. I don't think we should be comparing necessarily Evernote to Bear directly, because they're it is a bit more of a struggle, isn't it? Because this is Bear is more of like an Apple Notes advanced application. It's sort of a healthy medium between Apple Notes and Evernote. So I don't think it's necessarily a full package, although you could use it as a full package. It really depends on your experience. I use Bear alongside Evernote as my scripting location. I particularly love it for scripting because I can get all my ideas for features. So that's something that I don't mind. Let me read the comments. Steve put, OneNote lacks functionality on a Mac tag search, but Evernote just doesn't cut it for me. What else would you recommend? Now, again, it depends on your needs. Again, I would recommend the likes of Bear or Simple Note as a sort of go-to. If you're using it on Mac, there are two applications that are doing very well at the moment. Agenda Notes is a great one. It combines a calendar functionality with note-taking. And Goober Notes. Goober Notes I'm yet to review. Goober spelt like this guy's Goober. And it's definitely worth checking it out. Again, I think both of these are really nice tools. Mike put, great content makes up for the sound quality. Thank you very much. Prince put, can Notion replace Todoist? Yes and no. Notion has the ability of being a task management / project management experience, but the problem with it now, and something that Steve Dotto definitely made me aware of, is the fact that it's not yet easy for people to understand whether Notion is suitable for them. So yes, it can. It has the functionality, it has the ability, but it's not something they're doing right now. Yeah, Nicola put, yeah, I mean, the closest thing I found to Evernote is DevonThink, but it's way too complicated. Yeah, DevonThink is much more of a like big application that knows what it's doing in terms of like its functionality. It's a bit like DevonThink reminds me of OmniFocus for the note-taking space, so only if you're advanced. And again, Newton Motter put, how about Agenda? Agenda, great application, recommend it too. So I've got a few other things. Let me see. So just to note, my alternatives blog article is coming out on Friday/Saturday, there is an article on The Verge that does talk about Evernote alternatives if you want to, the best note takers right now. And a lot of people are asking, is it time to pull the plug on Evernote? Is it time to pull the plug on Evernote? I don't think it is. I don't think anyone should necessarily run out of the building. There's a few challenges they're facing. I don't think people should necessarily leave. Carl Pauline said a great thing. He did say that we should, the supporters of Evernote, support Evernote during this really tough time. And it's something that is definitely a consideration. Someone asked a question about Notion inside of email. They said, Evernote is without a doubt my second brain. With a potential death spiral though, I've been toying with the idea of Notion as a potential replacement, but I'm not completely sold on using Notion in my daily routine, even as an adjunct, I don't know that word, to Evernote. Any advice for how it would suit a student editor blogger? Notion's really, really nice. But the problem with it is it doesn't have some of the structural functions of a note taker. And what I mean by that is it's very much how you create it. So if you wanted to, you could replicate an Evernote experience in it, but it doesn't have, like, for example, if you wanted to import something to somewhere at the moment, it doesn't have that. So if I wanted to, if I found an email from a customer or someone with a PDF and I wanted to send it into Evernote, it could gorgeously do that and have that there. However, if I want to do that inside of Notion, I'm going to really, really struggle because you can't import it yet. There will be a web clipper coming, but again, it's about where it goes and what areas have been created. So again, they're working on that at the moment. I think the API will definitely help. Someone did say, when is dark mode coming for Evernote? Well, they partially have dark mode, don't they? On that left-hand panel. It's probably something they're developing at the moment. Dark mode would look good, right? I think a full dark mode on Evernote. Maybe I'm completely missing it, but I haven't actually seen that. Let me know in the comments if I am completely missing it. Brian B on Twitter, I put out a tweet with the Evernote templates, and a lot of people have been putting like, stay strong Evernote. Community members are really like, in this, they're sort of two minds. Some community members are like, I'm not putting my money into this because they're obviously working on a lack of development. And some community members are like, we need to help them through this tough time. So it's really something they're struggling with. Sandra, who regularly tweets, Medieval Girl on Twitter, she put, that's why I'm wondering, I just let mine lapse the other day. This is in reference to her Evernote Premium subscription. I've paid for Premium Notion and I love it. I can't see how Evernote can beat it. It's hard to sell me to fork out when Notion is just killing it. Endil on Twitter put Endilius' line. I said, with all the buzz around Evernote, do you think it's good to switch now? I'm struggling to find a decent app for work notes. Currently trying Agenda, but it lacks Notion, lacks Notion support, it lacks image support. Keep up the good work. Yeah, again, it really depends on your situation. What I would say is, probably try out Agenda for the next month or so and fully commit to that before you necessarily move from Evernote. Again, I don't think it's a sort of let's run out the building because there's loads of alternatives. Anyway, guys, one thing I would say is that everyone should not freak out just yet. It's not something that is too much of a worry. I'm going to read a few final comments, guys, and then we're going to wrap up the webinar. So if you have any final comments to put in there, please do them now, because it'd be great to have any of your questions asked. You can tell I'm really bad at these like webinar things, guys, because I'm really nervous actually. So Lauren Sus Adi, again, I'm going to butcher people's names in here, so it's going to be quite entertaining for that. Do you think apps will move towards all-in-one? Note taker, task manager, calendar, any app in this category? Great point. I do think it's heading that way. We're seeing apps like Coda, Airtable, Notion actually being used in a personal productivity format to actually create modular productivity setups. I do think this is heading in this direction. Whether it is adopted and whether it's taken up, it will be interesting. If it is, I think AI will be layered over the top of it to essentially become smarter and more efficient. That's my prediction. Again, whether it comes true, that's what I sort of think. Ingolf By put back to Nicola. Devon think is great, but only on Mac. Devon think is strange, and all of them costs a lot. Okay, so Zoe also put, sorry, I do like the idea of an all-in-one application, as I feel it's too many productivity types on my phone. I've always been someone who has liked having a note taker, a calendar, and a task manager. You probably have got that idea, inspiration, and sort of an idea that I like that. If you look at the Keep Productive logo, is it in this corner? No, it's in this corner. If you look at the Keep Productive logo, in the top right hand corner, I put a calendar, a note taker, and a task manager there. For the main reason that I think they're the 3 core apps. So it would be cool to have something. It would be wicked to have that. Nick put that, what's all the hype about dark mode? Really don't see the point unless you have OLED screen, to be completely honest. Light is more happy. Definitely, I agree. I have been someone that has been not someone that's like dark mode, but the last few weeks have been amazing. I've been using dark mode so much. Finally, Prince put, nobody knows the future of Evernote. 100% agree. But your future is bright. Oh, thanks, man. 100k is not far away. Yeah, if you're listening to this and are not subscribed right now, hit the subscription button. Thanks, Prince. Cheers, man. I always see your stuff in the comments, and I really love all of your comments. So keep commenting, and I always keep enjoying those comments. David, you put, why is not Evernote improving? Why is Evernote not improving in the area of premium users? I think we are important for the company. I think Evernote is not listening to their customers. That's a great question. And a lot of people have been saying that. The fact that Evernote haven't necessarily had a surge in premium features or bonuses. But the one thing I would say there is that they've been paying a lot of attention to Evernote Business, trying to get that experience ready. Remember that Evernote Business per customer is more expensive, so they're going to be trying to focus on that. And that's what a lot of people are annoyed at, because obviously there's a lack of people, getting the support they need for premium. So that's probably going to change over the next couple of weeks. I think they know their business model is reliant on the community side of stuff. So I can imagine we'll see a few premium bonuses in the next few weeks. So Zoe, you put nervous. I never know. You're doing great. Can you do more, please? Yes. So Zoe, I do have a video. Everyone who's listening along, I do have a video, one of these webinar things, and I will get better. I'm sure I can fix the sound thing. Next week, I'm going to say, or the week after, I'm not sure yet. It's going to be on Notion tips and tricks. So that's hopefully going to go through. We're going to do a screen, take over the screen and really demonstrate it. Christian, who says that Notion is not dead in a few years? That's 100% right. I think people should definitely consider that. This is not what Christian said. That's just me saying it. I still trust Evernote with 225 million users. Yes, so Christian, that's a great comment. He's just mentioning whether Notion will be dead in a couple of years. It's early days for Notion. It's only been a year and a half since they fully launched to the world. So it's important for us to be cautious with every new application. David says, thank you. Cheers, man. Newton also says, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. Guys, I think it's a perfect time to wrap up. I just wanted to thank everyone who listened along today. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You may be seen throughout this video, this little sort of thumbnail. I don't know where you can see it here in the bottom corner. And again, I'll fix the aspect ratio too. The future of Evernote. This is a video I've just done with Steve Dono. I applaud all of you guys to go and watch it. It's available on the channel now. It's a lovely interview, 20 minutes, but again, you can watch it in like 5-minute slots if you want. I got the opportunity to chat with Steve Dono, and thoroughly enjoyed it. He is a legend in the space, and I really appreciated all his thoughts. So if you're getting an idea of someone who's been with Evernote pretty much 8 years, 9 years, then Steve's going to give you a great opinion what he thinks of what's going to be happening. He also talks about Notion, so if a lot of you guys are loving Notion right now, that's your best bet. So thank you very much for stopping by today. If you haven't yet subscribed, I already said that. If you haven't subscribed, hit the if you're not part of the Facebook group, you can find that one in the description below. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming along today. I will see you guys very, very soon. Cheers. Now I've got to work out how to turn the stream off. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.